Hello students, in our previous lecture we are solve illustration number 3rd on computation of total taxable income of an individual. In our today's lecture we are going to solve another example on computation of total taxable income of an individuals. Okay, so here illustration number 3rd means illustration number 8 because in earlier lecture we are studied a 5 examples on computation of income from salary. Okay, and in last 2 days we are start to compute total taxable income of an individuals. So uh, this is illustration number 8. Okay, so first step to compute the total taxable income of an individual is to read the illustrations carefully. Okay, so Mr. Pranit is working in India Limited, Delhi. He has furnished the following details of his income for the year ending or for the year 2020-21. So Mr. Pranit is working in India Limited at Delhi and he gives the information of his income for the year 2020-21. With the help of information provided by Pranit, uh, we compute his total taxable income. So first step, read the illustrations, bifurcate the incomes. Okay, income earned from which heads. Okay, and then second step is to prepare the accounts and compute the total income of Pranit. So basic salary. Okay, basic salary, it is a income under the head of salary. DA, not DA 40% of salary. So basic salary rupees 50,000 per month. Okay, so 50,000 multiplied by 12. Okay, per month he received the 50,000 salary for 1 year. We compute a 1 year's salary or 1 year's income of Pranit. So 50,000 multiplied by 12. DA 40% of salary not considered for retirement benefit. It is very important. DA is received by the Pranit, but the DA is not considered for the retirement benefit. 40% of basic salary. Okay, here salary means basic salary. Basic salary. Okay, so it is also part of salary. Then bonus equal to 2 months of basic salary, it is also part of salary. Bonus, so 50,000 multiplied by 2, 1 lakh is the bonus received by Pranit during the year. Helper allowance, it is also a taxable allowance. Okay, it is also part of salary and it is taxable, fully taxable. Taxable allowance. Reimbursement of education expenses of rupees 20,000 by employer. So education expenses paid by the employer, so it is fully taxable. Okay, it is also fully taxable. Then employer's contribution to RPF. So employer's contribution to RPF at the rate 15% of salary. At the rate 15% of salary. So we know the exempted HRA. So the employer's contribution is exempted up to 12% of salary. So we need to compute salary for RPF. Okay, we need to compute a working note to find out the exempted contribution of employer. Okay, and the remaining balance is taxable. It means here the employer contribute to RPF at 15%. It means 3% is taxable. For this 3% we need to compute salary for RPF. Then traveling allowances for his official tour rupees 25,000. Okay, so traveling allowances for official purpose fully exempted. Okay, but here into bracket the actual expenditure incurred for this tour is given here that is 20,000. It means the employee save rupees 5,000 and that 5,000 is taxable. Okay, so actual expenditure incurred, okay, is allowed for exemption. Okay, so it is also part of salary. Okay, okay, so it is also part of salary. Then Mr. Pranit, so okay, remember this. Mr. Pranit is the owner of house property which is let out for annual rate rupees 4,80,000, fair rent rupees 5 lakh, municipal valuation rupees 4,50,000, standard rate rupees 6 lakh. He paid municipal tax of rupees 20,000, interest paid on borrowed capital rupees 1,55,000, and principal amount repaid rupees 50,000. So all these are relating to a second head of income, that is income from house property. So we need to first of all find out the income from a house property or gross annual value. Then gross annual value, then we find out the net annual value, and then we get a deductions of uh, interest on borrowed capital and standard deduction, that is 30% on annual value. Okay, so it is a income from house property. We need to prepare a working note to compute gross annual value. Once we find out the gross annual value of house property, then it is very easy to compute a income from house property. Then medical insurance premium. One thing is here, uh, that is principal amount repaid. That principal amount repaid amounting to rupees 50,000 is allowed for deduction under section 80C. Okay, 80C. So these two effects is very important. First we compute a income from house property, and lastly we give the we deduct the principal amount of loan from gross total income. Got it? Then mediclaim insurance premium rupees 35,000 for his mother who is 63 years old. So actual premium paid or rupees 50,000, sorry, or rupees uh, actual insurance premium paid or rupees uh, 50,000, whichever is lower is allowed for deduction under section 80D. So here the Pranit received a deduction under section 80D. So the mother of SAC is senior citizen, that is age above 60 years. So he deduct entire amount of medical insurance premium, because 50,000 or medical insurance premium paid, whichever is lower is allowed for deduction. So here 35,000 whole amount is allowed for deduction from gross total income under section 80D. Okay, then his contribution to RPF, his means the Pranit's contribution to RPF is allowed for deduction under section 80C. Okay, it is a contribution of SAC, and contribution of SAC is allowed for deduction under section 80C from gross total income. Interest on government security, so it is a income from other source. Income from other source. Income from UTI rupees 45,000, it is also income from other source, but income received from UTI is fully exempted. Got it? Fully exempted. He deposit rupees 60,000 in SBI bank as a fixed deposit for 5 years. So it is a long-term deposit, and long-term deposit is allowed for deduction under section 80C. Under section 80C. Okay, allow for deduction under section 80C amounting to rupees 60,000. Donation to paid to government for promoting the family planning. So it is a deduction under section 80G. That is 100% deduction is allowed. Okay, not 50%, 100%, because the donation is given to the government for promoting the family planning. So remember the chart of 100% deduction allowed for 100% deduction allowed and 50% deduction allowed for deduction of gross total income from gross total income. Then dividend received from Indian company, so it is also income from other source. Okay, dividend received from Indian company, but it is fully exempted, because fully exempted because dividend received from Indian company, so it is exempted from tax. Then income from business amounting to rupees 2,50,000, so it is a income under the head of business, that is head number third. 1 2 3, head number third. Then the company has deduct income tax of rupees 80,000, okay, from the salary of Mr. Pranit. So it is a TDS, okay, and TDS should be taken into consideration when we compute, or while we compute the tax liability of SAC. So here we can't compute the tax liability of Pranit. Here we compute only the taxable income from his income. So it is deducted from, for your understanding, it is deducted from tax liability. Okay, tax liability. Less from tax liability. He paid a professional tax rupees 2,500. So 2,500 professional tax is deducted from gross salary. Deducted from gross salary under section 16 subsection 3rd. Okay. Now here we bifurcate the income earned by Pranit from 5 heads. Now it is very easy to compute the total taxable income of an SAC. So here first, that is here solution. Now prepare, that is computation of total taxable income of Mr. Pranit working in Delhi. Okay, assessment year 2021-22, previous year 2020-21. Okay, now prepare a or insert 3 column, that is particulars, rupees. Okay, particulars, rupees, and start to compute the taxable income. Rupees. Here first head of income, that is income from salary. So income from salary, first basic salary, which is given in the illustration, that is 50,000 basic salary per month. The Pranit received a 50,000 salary per month. Okay, so 50,000 multiplied by 12 into bracket 50,000 multiplied by 12 is equal to, in outer column the figure is rupees 6 lakh. Then second, that is DA into bracket 40% of basic salary. So 40%, that is 40 divided by 100 multiplied by 6 lakh. Okay, 6 lakh. Okay, so here 1,60,000 is the DA received by Pranit. Sorry, 2,40,000. Okay, 6,40,000 DA. Okay, 40 divided by 100 multiplied by 6 lakh. So 2,40,000 is the DA received by Pranit. Then next bonus. Here bonus is equal to 2 months salary or basic salary. Bonus is equal to 2 months salary. So 50,000 multiplied by 2, that is 1 lakh. Okay, then next helper allowance fully taxable, that is 1,000 per month. So 1,000 multiplied by 12, that is 12,000. Okay, that is 12,000. Then next employer paid educational expenses, okay, amounting to rupees 20,000. So 20,000 is the taxable amount. Reimbursement reimbursement of education expenses fully taxable amounting to rupees 20,000, Then next employer contribution to RPF. So employer contribution to RPF, employer contribution to RPF. So employer's contribution to RPF, that is 15% of salary. So 15% of salary, that is here salary is equal to basic pay plus DA plus commission on sales. Okay, no need to compute salary for contribution, but here salary for RPF is equal to basic salary plus DA considered for retirement benefit plus commission on sales. Okay, so here basic salary 6 lakh plus DA is given, but the DA is not considered for retirement benefit, so it here the amounting column is nil, plus commission is not given, so nil. So salary is equal to 6 lakh. So 15% on 6 lakh, that is 90,000. Put the figure in inner column. Okay, that is 90,000. How we compute? So 15 divided by 100 multiplied by 6 lakh, multiplied by 6 lakh. Got it? Now deduct less exemption 12% of salary. So we already compute salary. So 12 divided by here 15. Okay, 12 divided by 15 multiplied by 6 lakh. That is amounting to rupees 72,000. 72,000. So deduct 72,000. So here the employer's contribution is exempted, amounting to rupees 72,000, and remaining balance is taxable. So remaining balance is rupees 18,000. 18,000. Then next that is a traveling allowances for here. Traveling allowances for his office. So traveling allowances for his office, for office tour, in inner column. The whole amount is not utilized for traveling or office tour. Okay, the whole amount is allowed for office tour. Then the total amount or the total whole expended amount are exempted from tax. But here the SSC only spent rupees 20,000 out of 25,000. So he received the two traveling allowances from a employer amounting to rupees 25,000, and he spent less, spent amount for office tour is rupees 20,000. So only the spent amount is allowed for deduction, and remaining balance is taxable. That is 5,000 is taxable. Okay, got it? Then next here we consider all income received from salary. Now we are going to compute a income from house property, but for computation of income from house property, we need to compute a income from salary. So here make the total of outer column, and that total is called gross salary, 9,95,000. That total is called gross salary. And from this gross salary, the SSC will get a deduction. Okay, under section 16 first A, that is standard deduction. Okay, deductions under section 16. First, that is standard deduction, section 16 subsection first A, that is amounting to rupees 50,000. Then second, that is entertainment allowance 16 subsection 2. And third, but here entertainment allowance is not given, and entertainment allowance basically allow for deduction only for government employee nil. Okay, then professional tax is given here. Professional tax 16 subsection 3 amounting to rupees 2,500. Now again make the total of inner column, put this total in outer column and deduct 52,500, okay, from gross salary. So here we received the income from salary amounting to rupees 9,42,500. Okay, it is called a income from salary. Okay, it is called income from salary. Now we compute a second head of income, that is income from house property. So income from house property, we already read the information regarding the income from house property. Okay, so computation of income from house property, we need to compute first the gross annual value of house property. Got it? So here we prepare a working note to compute gross annual value of the house property. So working note, computation of gross annual value of HP house property. So we compare the values, that is municipal value with fair rent, whichever is maximum. Then maximum amount, we compare maximum amount with standard rent, whichever is less. And then less value is compared with actual rent received. Okay, so first step first, maximum of following two. So here municipal value. So municipal value is also given in the illustration, that is here. Okay, municipal value of house property, that is 4,50,000. Okay, so compare municipal value with fair rent, and fair rent is also given in the illustration, that is fair rent rupees 5 lakh here. Okay, fair rent. So compare municipal value with the fair rent, whichever is higher. So municipal value 4,50,000, fair rent amounting to rupees 5 lakh. So those value which is high or maximum are compared with or is compared with. So here the fair rent is maximum. So maximum amount is maximum amount is 5 lakh. Okay, then then the maximum amount is compared with, okay, the maximum amount is compared with the standard rent. So here minimum of following two, that is maximum amount 5 lakh. So maximum amount is compared with standard rent, and standard rate is also given in the illustration. So here standard rent is 6 lakh. So standard rate is 6 lakh here, 6 lakh. Now the standard rate is compared with maximum amount. Okay, standard rent is compared with maximum amount, and those value which is less is considered as a expected rent. So here expected rent is minimum of above 2, minimum of above 2, minimum of above 2. So minimum value is rupees 5 lakh. It's called a expected rent. It's called a expected rent. Okay, now the expected rent, we compute here expected rent. Now the second step, step second, that is find maximum or maximum of following two, maximum of following two, that is expected rent is compared with adjusted actual rent. So adjusted actual rent is also given, that is the actual rent received. Okay, so actual rent received during the year, annual rent 4,80,000. Okay, so the expected rent is compared with so expected rent. So expected rent is 5 lakh. So this 5 lakh is compared with actual rent received, that is 4,80,000. Okay, and those value which is more is the gross annual value is gross annual value. So here the more value is rupees 5 lakh. Okay, so the gross value is 5 lakh. Got it? So very easy to compute a gross annual value of the house property. Now here gross annual value is equal to, so gross annual value in inner column amounting to rupees 5 lakh. Okay, then we deduct what we deduct, less municipal tax. So municipal tax paid by SSE amounting to rupees 20,000 here. The municipal tax paid amounting to rupees 20,000 here, 20,000. So deduct this 20,000 from gross annual value. Okay, and put the figure in inner column. Okay, 20,000. Okay, 20,000. So deduct 20,000 from 5 lakh. Deduct 20,000 from 5 lakh. Here we received a 4,80,000. That 4,80,000 is called a net annual value. It's called net annual value. Now we deduct what we deduct, less deductions under section 24, that is 30% standard deduction. So this 30% standard deduction is given for maintenance of house property on net annual value. Okay, so 30% standard deduction is allowed for SSE for maintenance of house property on net annual value. Okay, into bracket. So 30% divided by 100 multiplied by 4,80,000. Okay, got it? So deduct in inner column, that is 1,44,000. Then next deduction, that is interest on borrowed loan. So interest on borrowed loan is allowed for a deduction here, that is 1,55,000. 1,55,000. Whole interest is allowed for deduction. 1,55,000. Okay, 1,55,000. Okay, then next so deduct this total figure from 4 lakh. Deduct this 1,44,000 plus 1,55,000, deduct from 4,80,000 and remaining balance put into the outer column, that is 1,81,000 is the is the income from house property. Okay, so here we receive the amount, that is income from house property. Income from house property. Income from house property. Now we make the addition of salary plus income from house property. Now make the total of outer column, that is not necessary to make the total, but here, okay, not necessary to make the total because we add another 3 heads of income. Okay, we need to add the another 3 heads of income. Okay, add here. The third head of income, that is income from business or profession. So here income from business is given, the amounting to rupees where 2,50,000 is the income earned from business. So here 2,50,000, put the figure directly to the outer column. Then income head 4, that is in capital gain. So capital gain is not given, so the head is, the amount of that head is nil. Then head 5, that is income from other source. So income from other source is given one by one we read. Here medical insurance, it is a deduction, contribution allow for deduction from gross total. Interest on government securities, interest on government securities in inner column amounting to rupees 15,000. Okay, amounting to rupees 15,000. Next that is income from UTI, income from other source but fully exempted. Okay, fully exempted. Income from units, here into bracket, fully exempted. Fully exempted. So in inner column the amount is nil. Dividend from Indian company, Indian company, so it is also fully exempted from tax, nil. Now make the total of inner column, that is 1,50,000, sorry 15,000, not 1 lakh, 15,000. That is 15,000. 15,000. Add this 15,000 in heads of income, that is make the total of outer column, that is 9,42,500 plus 1,81,000 plus 2,50,000 is equal to 13,88,500. That total is called gross total income. Gross total income means the total of 5 heads. Okay, once we find out the gross total income, now we deduct less. What we deduct? Deductions under chapter 6A, section 80C, 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 80CCC to 80U. Okay, so deduction, first of all we deduct section, deduction under section 80C. So under 80C we already find out one by one, that is principal amount of loan is allowed for deduction. Principal amount of loan in inner column, that is 60,000, 60,000. The next deduction under section 80C, that is contribution to RPF. So his contribution means SSC's contribution to RPF. So SSC's contribution to RPF is 30,000. Then next, we already bifurcate the deduction under section 80C, so that it is easy to deduct directly from gross total income. Then here deposit, long-term deposit 60,000, long-term deposit 60,000, repayment of loan 50,000. By mistakenly we consider the 60,000. Then here FD in SBI for 5 years, it is long term, that is amounting to rupees 60,000. Okay, 60,000. Now make the total of 80C. That total is called gross qualified amount, that is amounting to rupees 1,40,000. 1,40,000. Gross qualified amount, gross qualified amount. Then we add the another deductions. Okay, gross qualified amount, or it is called gross oblique net qualified amount. Then deduction under section ATD, mediclaim, that is mediclaim insurance premium on the health of his mother, into bracket age 63, senior citizen. For senior citizen, the mediclaim is allowed for deduction amounting to rupees 50,000. Okay, 50,000. Sorry, 50,000 into inner 50,000, or mediclaim premium paid whichever is lower. So 35,000. 35,000 is allowed for deduction. Then next that is section deduction under section ATG. Okay, ATG. So donation for promoting the family planning. Here, donation for promoting the family planning. Promoting family planning, 100% donation is allowed for deduction. So 100% into bracket 100% amounting to rupees 20,000. Now make the total of inner column, that is 1,40,000 plus 35,000 plus 20,000 is equal to 1,95,000. Deduct 1,95,000 from 13,88,500. We received 11,93,500, and that figure is called, that balancing figure is called total taxable income of Mr. Pranit. Okay, so here we compute a total taxable income of Mr. Pranit from his information, providing he provides the information regarding his income, and with the help of that income we compute the total taxable income of Mr. Pranit amounting to rupees 11,93,500. Okay, in our next lecture we are start a new unit of our paper third, that is taxation of companies. Okay, so here we solve 8 illustrations on computation of total taxable income. Okay, from our next lecture we are start unit number third, that is taxation of companies. Okay, so thank you very much.